would you like to introduce yourself to me before we begin your lesson so I can get to know a bit about you?
Yes, my name is Jefferson. I'm from Brazil. I'm
Mm,
23 years old, and I'm
mm,
studying economics at college.
mm, mm-hmm. Okay, it's nice to meet
And
you, Jefferson.
yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes,
Okay, so you've picked the lesson here, nature and environment. So if you're happy to proceed, now this is the IELTS speaking part 3 for any level. So we'll try and go
yes,
through this. Let's see how we get on today. There's quite a few slides. So tell me if you want to skip any of it because some students already have familiarity with the testing and scoring.
yes, yes,
So this is the overview of today's lesson. We've got the IELTS exam overview, some key vocabulary, examiner insights, mock part 3 questions, feedback and corrections, sample band 6 answer, and additional activities. So that's an overview of what
You
we should
you
learn.
can skip you can skip
Yeah, this is the
some of this.
this is the
Yes,
scoring, and so we'll skip that. So the format of part 3. So part 3 is a two-way informal conversation with the examiner. You will be asked a broader range of questions based on the topic from part 2. The focus is on your ability to analyze, discuss, and interpret the broader significance of particular issues. And the examiner may interrupt you to ask follow-up questions, or if you have misunderstood a question, this does not affect your score. So that's quite an important part of that. Um, that's not going to affect your score. So part 3 lasts 4 to 5 minutes. Okay.
yeah.
Um, so now I don't know if do you want me to skip this? I mean, it's a brief overview of the IELTS rubric here. Obviously, 9s at the top. They're very natural. They're looking for 100% flawless. Very small pauses like a native, and then it's sort of a sliding scale. So the more pauses or corrections required, obviously, will lessen the percentage
Yes. All
there.
right.
So we'll
Yes,
skip that bit. So
yes,
review nature and environment vocabulary. So with your tutor, review the pronunciation and meaning of these terms. So we've got nouns, verbs, adjectives, phrases and collocations and linking words. So would you like to go through these meanings? Do you want to read through them, like the nouns?
yes. I can read some of them,
Mm,
like climate
mm.
change, global warming, flash food, mudslide, deforestation, toxic toxic waste, right?
Okay, so we've got
Uh,
this one here is flood. So flash flood,
flash flood,
yeah, and then we've got and this is mud. We pronounce this mud as in mudslide. Um, uh,
mudslide.
yeah, this one here deforestation yeah, to correct toxic waste. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
next adjectives.
Re reusable, uh,
Mm,
and endangered,
endangered.
endangered, right?
Mm, mm-hmm.
Exchange,
Extinct.
extinct.
Yeah. So
Okay.
going back, Are you familiar with the meanings of all of these so far? Is there any word there that you don't know what the meaning is?
Uh, mudslide. I don't remember.
Mm,
And the second one, and endangered. No, endangered. I know. Yes,
mm.
only mudslide.
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 Well, I mean,
Mudslide.
mudslide. I'm assuming that's some kind of a natural form of sort of slide made out of mud. I would imagine. So I mean, I'm not up on my nature words myself. So I mean, I quickly
Yes.
have to look that one up myself. I mean, I'm imagining mudslide. I mean, God knows what this will come up with under nature words. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've got recipes there for cocktails. So I mean, as in nature. I don't know.
I find
It's just
here.
come up on under.
Yes,
I just done a Google then.
yes,
Yeah, just come up with cocktail recipes. So I mean, so apparently it's a cocktail, it's
yes,
a drink, mate. I don't know.
it's like
As for nature,
on
mm,
yeah. Mudslide is like when rain in specific
mm,
area you have the the the
Mm.
the ground move it because you don't have the vegetation to protect this that area.
You don't have the what, sorry, to protect the area?
Uh, Identify the specific area, just as the meaning of mudslide. Uh,
Yeah, I think it's
Meaning
obviously it's like a natural
a
form of
mass. It's
mm,
a mass of mud and other earthy material that's is failing or has fallen down a
yeah.
hillside or the slope.
Mm, mm, yeah. Yeah, sort of
It's very common.
naturally formed. Mm.
This is very common in some cities who don't have the plain areas.
Plain areas.
Yes,
Yeah, I've never seen a mudslide in England, so I mean, I can imagine what that is, how it may form,
the,
where. Mm.
in big cities here in Brazil, it's very common because
Is it
you have
right?
lots.
Okay,
Yes,
right. Okay. Yeah, no, it's not something I've come across in England. So I mean, that's a new one for me. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so verbs. Moving on to verbs.
uh, safeguard, to estimate, to inherit, to combat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm familiar with these meanings.
Mm-hmm.
Phrase and collocation, to do the part, to trickle down, right?
To do their part, to trickle down. Yes.
Trickle down, yes. And linking words, as I
Mm.
see it, I would say.
As I see it, and I would say, yeah, linking words. So I mean, we're not sure how they all link to the environment. I mean, with safeguarding, for example, I mean, yeah, you can safeguard you've got endangered species, and you can safeguard natural habitat, for example, like protected land. Sometimes people feel they may want to protect a particular building if it's a place of interest. That's dependent on each council how they feel about it. I mean, so that's where
Yes,
safeguarding of buildings predominantly and occasionally land and nature occasionally. Examiners tip include examples. So strong specific support to crucial is crucial to add details to your answers. So you can break down a strong part three answer into three parts. So they want strong specific support. What I would always advise, and a sort of with this, is to make it as specific as possible. The answers to because that gives a bit more clarity. And then when they ask for more details, then it sort of elaborate, but not sort of too much. It's answer. So give a direct answer to the question, reason, explain why you think this way, and then an example. So this is a very good way to break it down. So you don't sort of struggle
yes.
with expanding on your answer. So for an example question here, do you think it's important to use renewable energy? So do you want to read this example answer to give you some practice there? So do you want to read that example?
Yes, yes, I think it's very important to use renewable energy because the supply of fossil fuels will run out. Not to mention, fossil
Mm.
fuels are bad for environment. For example, the increase in popularity for electric and hybrid cars shows using renewable energy is important to many people.
Yeah, so this one here is hybrid, pronounced hybrid, um,
Hybrid,
hybrid hybrid cars. So yes, I think it is very important to use renewable energy. So that's a direct answer to the question. And then a reason. So then they use because as the linking word there. So because the supply of fossil fuels will run out, not to mention fossil fuels are bad for the environment. So there's two examples there, well, two reasons there, and then they go on to say, for example, the increase in popularity for electric and hybrid cars shows using renewable energy is important to many people. So they've given this is quite a nice example of how to answer. So if you use the phrases, answer the question yes, or no, if that happens to be the case. They use because as a linking word for reasons, and they've given two reasons there. And then, for example, to close your answer. So that's a three-stage answer. Bearing that in mind, so here's some prompts for you. Here's a question that you can answer in that three-stage sort of breakdown there. So, is pollution a problem in your country?
Yes, I think it's a problem in my country
Mm,
uh, because, especially in waters, rivers, and some like that, we have lots of rivers here in my country because it's a large country. So people put the trash on the water so that
right.
it's bad for fisher and other marine animals, and it's problematic for cities who needs that water to for the people. So it's a problem here.
Hmm. I get that. So, do you think, curiously, sort of, I've never been to Brazil, so I mean, so it's just generally people dumping rubbish in the river. Why do you think people do that?
Um, in big cities, I think it's because
Hmm.
they don't have an efficient system to collect the trash every day or
Mm,
every week. I don't
mm,
know. So we have the bad smell, and you can have rats and other kinds of things, which
maybe it's an overflow then.
brings,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
what brings you some
Yeah,
some
because
disease.
yeah, I can't understand why people can't just pick up their rubbish and take it home with them. But I mean, I'm wondering if, like, you've hit the nail on the head there. There's maybe a possibility of a problem a bit wider than
Yeah,
people just dropping their rubbish, like such as an overflow of rubbish collection, delays in rubbish collection. So where suddenly things become loose and end up sort of from the bin onto the floor, and then it just gets carried off into the streams. I mean, it's a possibility of why the rubbish accumulates. I hadn't thought of that. Examiner's tip: practice articles. So watch out for common mistakes using articles. So incorrect. So my mum always makes the sandwich for me. Um, so correct. My mum always makes a sandwich for me. So we've got some practice examples here. So please get that done by the end of the day. So could you correct these?
for me
Can you
it's
see these?
at the end of the day, at right at the end of the day, get that done by. Mm, please get that
I don't
by
know
the.
actually. I mean, please get that done by. Oh, there's a word missing there. There's something missing.
Get that done by the end of the day.
I think you already added the word in there actually. By I think you just read it without the error. I think you've actually already added the missing word in there. So and to try and read that again and then correct it.
Please get that done by the end of the day. Please
If you actually,
get that done at the end of the day. I
mm,
don't know.
do you want to? If you read this again, focus on what that says. If you actually read it, don't try to correct it. So what does it say? Try and read that one more time.
Please get that done by the end of the day. By the end of the day. By the end of the day.
Do you want me to read that for
Yes.
you to show you example? Right, it says please get that done by end of the day. That's what it says if you read that. Can you see the
By
error?
the end of the day.
Please,
By the end of the day.
yes, yes, you already added that in
Yeah.
without without even being there. I think you did sort of a bit of a sort of
Yeah.
yeah, sort of jumped ahead there. So so next one.
He took the moment to understand the situation. He took a moment.
Yes, correct. Yes, he took a
to
moment to
stand.
understand the situation. It's correct.
Yes.
Mm.
It was an opportunity for a lifetime. It was it was the opportunity for a lifetime.
Mm.
It was the opportunity for a lifetime. It was the opportunity for the lifetime. No, for the lifetime. An opportunity.
Mm.
An opportunity.
It was an opportunity, yeah, an opportunity of a lifetime. I mean, right. So, examiner's tips. So, useful phrases to make predictions. So, here's an example question: what are some reasons why people throw litter on the ground? I just asked that.
Yes.
So, so answer the question there. So, it may be, or it is possible that. Um, so it is possible that there is no access to trash cans nearby. So that's my sort of. It's not really a reason, because so what then? You wouldn't put it on the floor, would you? I mean, why would you? So it is possible that there is no access to trash cans nearby. That's it. It is unlikely that most littering is just a mistake, and I agree. Can't find, oh, I accidentally dropped that on the floor because there was no trash can nearby. I mean, it's not an accident, is it? It's deliberate. So um so your turn. So try answering the question using the phrases above. So what do you think your country's environment will be like in the future? For example, 20 years in the future.
Mm, okay, it depends of our actions today. And if you look for the actions that have been taken today, it's probably
Mm,
it's possible that in the future we have major problems, especially related to food and water, because
mm,
the deforestation in some areas in my country has been some uh, it would be it would have actually major problems on food, because you are put some toxic things on the ground, and you have to take care of this place for healthy uh, food in the future. And we are
mm,
not doing this. We just put toxic things on the ground and take the results, and food and other things. So we're not take care of the places uh, you that we have the food.
mm. Yes, okay. um let's go on to the next slide. So let's practice. What do you think is the main danger the world faces in terms of the environment? So, starting with in my opinion.
Uh, in my opinion, is the temperature. It's very unstable, and we cannot predict how it's going to be in the future, because we made some projections, and then happened something different with the temperatures, and some countries are not prepared for this change. Like some
Mm,
countries which always have cold weather, now it's facing high temperatures, uh, and countries which were not prepared for the cold weather, it's seeing the opposite.
mm. Yeah, I mean, I sometimes I wonder about, the competence of air conditioning as well. So, and on what effect that has on humans and the environment. So, what are some examples of how humans damage nature?
One example is when you uh, make the deforestation of some areas, like here in
Mm.
Brazil. The other one is when some uh, industrial plants put some toxic things on the atmosphere, and cars and other things in big cities.
Yeah. Okay. What should governments do to protect the environment? And so answer it starting with as I see it.
As I see it, it's not the easiest things to do, but the government can um, help the uh, how can I say this, motivated to electric
Mm.
things like cars, electric cars,
Mm.
and
Mm.
energy from the air, from the from the sun, clean energy, and uh, renewable uh, renewable things.
Mm.
They should motivate the people to use uh, uh, things which use less fossil fuels.
Mm. And so, what should people do to protect the environment?
In order to protect the environment, people should study more about what's going on, get informated, uh,
Mm.
how to do things in the home, like
Mm.
I don't know, make many trash every day, use less water, or use better the
Mm.
resource that they have, and some small things.
Mm. So let's practice. Are people concerned about environmental problems in your country? So start answering with in my country.
In my country, it's yes, some people, especially the people which is study in college in other places, it's very concerned about it, but it's not like in Europe. Uh, in Europe, you see protest and something like that, which the specific cause is the environment. So here is not the case. People just concerned, people has just the knowledge, they know it that this is happening, but in terms of um active uh, uh, behavior, it's not common.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you think that the environmental situation will improve in the near future? You
Well,
start that with well. Mm.
yeah, yeah, I think it will be, because we nowadays we just talking. Some actions
Mm.
are not sufficient. It's not enough. It's not enough to 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 manage the damage in the future.
Mm. Yes, I agree. I think it's too little, too late, probably.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm meant to be a pessimist and just a realist. So tutor feedback. So okay, so feedback. I mean, it's got here. I've got to give you feedback on your strengths and you can improve on. I mean, all I would say to you for this is you answered very, very well. You were able to expand on your answers and give, opinions on this discussion topic. I would only say refer back to that three-stage response and to answer the question. So start with yes or no, depending on your answer, to give a direct answer. And remember to sort of use the linking words such as because or for example is another good one. And then maybe give two reasons for why you said yes or no. And then third, to then say for example, and that's how you expand. But I mean, you've got all of those things in place. You can do it. I just really recommend using their examples. Or alternative examples that mean this sort of do the same job because I think to be specific, precise, gives more clarity to what you're trying to say, and it makes it easier for you as well.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Refer back to that 3-stage answer response just to make it easier for you. So band 7, 5 to 8 sample answer. So what does this answer do well? Review any new vocabulary. So what do you think is the main danger the world faces in terms of the environment? So do you want to read the example answer and then we can talk about what they did well?
Okay. In my opinion, climate change is a serious issue that affects the whole planet. Flash floods and mudslides are common in my area, so I would say global warming is the biggest issue we face today.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what are some examples of how humans damage nature?
One example is the deforestation that occurs from agricultural farming or housing construction. These activities damage the environment and cause species endangerment and even
Mm.
extinction.
So they cause species endangerment and even extinction. So what do you think this
Yeah.
answer does well?
Yes, it's very related to the 3 points. We can see it, and
Mm.
it's very clear and direct. So it's good examples because respond direct to the question.
Yeah, so obviously they've given the reasons and explanations. So I mean, they've used a good word. A good one in my opinion. So we went on to discuss practice examples of using this as an answer starting point. In my opinion, they started that,
Yes,
and then he's gone on to again use this one example. Um, so that's a good way to start and conclude your answer. Um, so we'll do this again. What should governments
yeah.
do to protect the environment?
As I see it, governments all over the world should thoroughly review the environmental laws and change them to be more strict, specifically with industrial companies who are known to dump toxic waste in our water, air, and land.
Mm. Yes. And what should people do to protect the environment?
The responsibility to safeguard our precious nature resource doesn't solely fall on the government. Individuals should do their parts by bringing reusable bags to the grocery store and using public transportation instead of driving a car.
Mm. So yeah, safeguard our precious natural resources. So yeah, so basically it says, what do these answers do well? Can you pick out some examples from both of these responses?
From the first one, as I see it before,
Yeah, yeah.
government
Just
can.
yes.
It's about law and other things, but I said related to motivating electric things and clean energy. As there are some examples which the government should do, not just
Mm.
reviewing the law.
Mm. Yeah, so as I see it, they started with that and then they went on to explain that. We've only got a few seconds left. So this one here, what do they
Yes.
do well here? I mean, there's just an explanation here, isn't there, about but just an explanation, isn't it, about reusable bags and using public transport instead of cars. It's just a bit of individual responsibility that shouldn't always need to be enforced by the government if people could be a bit more responsible. Okay, we've only got 20 seconds left. I've really enjoyed this lesson today. We're only on slide 15, so do come back again. Oh, sorry, slide. Yeah, 15, I think it
Yes.
is. So I'll see you soon, hopefully, and to complete the lesson. Bye for now.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye for now.